Hello, we're here to demonstrate the use of SimMan 3G Plus with LiveShock, with use of defib pads and a live defibrillator. In this case, we're using a Philips MRX defibrillator, but this applies to any commercially available defibrillator. We have heard from some of our customers that when they deliver a shock to our simulator, they have heard a crack or smelled something odd, and they are concerned that they have done some damage to the simulator. This is definitely not the case. Defib pads are meant to be used with our simulators, just as they would with any live patient. To ensure good connectivity between the pads and the defib pads and the plates, you always use good, fresh, new pads. They must completely cover the plates with nothing exposed. For example, we would peel this one off and place it over the pad, focusing on the pad itself rather than the skin around it, making sure that we have good, solid connection. Then you can place the pads on the skin just to hold them better in place. Here I'm pressing on the plate first before I'm doing anything else. We will then set the charge on the defibrillator to 200 joules and press charge. At this point, we want to make sure that nobody is touching the mannequin and is completely away from all equipment. When the defibrillator is ready, you press the charge. It is possible that you hear a click or smell an odor after delivering a shock. This is quite normal. The click can be due to the high voltage being delivered, and the smell is due to the gel that the manufacturer puts on the pads themselves to help ensure connectivity. The mannequin is fine. We have done a great deal of testing at Laerdal to ensure that these simulators can endure a great number of shocks with no harm coming to either the mannequin or to other people around the area. There might be some discoloration to the skin, but that's the only thing. And lastly, here are some general guidelines to always follow when you're using defib pads and plates. You want to ensure good connectivity, but you do not want to use excess gel. You do not want to use overly dry either pads. You don't want to use pads that may be cracked or might be out of date. And if you're following a scenario that requires that a patient gets a shock but still needs further CPR, deliver the CPR, but then if another shock is required, make sure before charging the shock on the defib that you have good connectivity again, because giving CPR will generally loosen the pads themselves. And it's always good to remember that when using a defib, you're involving high voltage, and that's always can lead to dangerous situations. And so care must be taken, especially if you're used to using with enriched air or oxygen. You should not do that with our SimMan mannequins. Thank you very much.